Beginning. The whisper that broke a planet. The arena lights burned white-hot above Kesh Prime's Grand Colosseum, a floating structure suspended by gravity anchors over a molten ocean. Billions tuned in across thousands of worlds. Today was the Trigalactic Combat Trial, a spectacle where champions tested their strength, honor, or stupidity, depending on the audience. In the center of the ring stood General Rykar Thorn, a 7-foot slab of scaled muscle, the undefeated champion of the Vrax Dominion. Every inch of him radiated violence. He had broken war beasts with his bare hands. He had conquered moons. He had throttled generals into the ground until the dirt swallowed them. But today, he salivated at the thought of something new. A human. A small one at that. Across the arena, stepping into view as the gates opened, walked a girl barely in her 20s. Her build was lean, almost delicate, dressed in a simple training uniform with no visible armor. Only her posture, straight-backed, unflinching, indicated she wasn't afraid. Her name, Mira Hale, a Deathworlder from the planet humans called Earth. The galaxy had laughed when Earth joined the coalition. The galaxy had laughed louder when humans volunteered to enter the combat trials. Deathworld species exaggerate, the Vrax joked. They think everything tries to kill them. Trees, weather, small animals. But Mira? Mira wasn't laughing. She stepped into the arena, breathing slowly, purposefully, controlled, almost meditative. The commentator drones hovered overhead, projecting booming narration across the stadium. Introducing Challenger Number 1, General Rykar Thorn, Breaker of Fleets, Slayer of the Molten Drake, Terror of the Vanguard Sector. Cheers thundered like quakes. And Challenger Number 2, Mira Hale of Earth, a civilian volunteer. The laughter shook the seats. Rykar lifted a massive claw, pointing at her. So small, he boomed, voice echoing. Do your kind even understand combat? I should break you quickly so your people stop embarrassing themselves. Mira simply tied her hair back. You mistake noise, she said calmly, for power. The arena fell quiet, not out of awe, but confusion. Though no microphone was near her, the words carried. Not loud. Not enhanced, just clear. What did you say? Rykar thundered, his voice projecting like a cannon. She didn't raise hers. I said, she repeated softly, that you think shouting makes you strong. Rykar snarled, the crowd roared, and the announcer declared. Trial. Begin. Middle. How Deathworlders win. Rykar charged, each stomp shaking the arena. His mass alone created concussive blasts. His bellow was deafening, at least to anyone not raised on a world where thunderstorms regularly cracked trees in half and volcanoes erupted twice a century. Mira stepped aside. Just one step. Rykar missed by a meter and skidded, carving a trench in the flooring. The crowd laughed. She's dodging because she can't fight, they jeered. Rykar spun around. Stand still, little insect. Mira did not stand still. She flowed. Every motion was economical, precise, almost lazy. Rykar swung an arm the size of a small car. Mira bent, allowing the wind of the strike to pass over her. She tapped his elbow as she moved. Just a fingertip. Rykar grunted, suddenly feeling something wrong in the joint. Sharp, electric pain. He snarled. Trickery. No, she said quietly. Physics. He threw punches like meteor strikes. She slid around each one, tapping nerves, tendons, ligaments. The crowd began to murmur. This wasn't cowardice. It wasn't luck. It was skill. Rykar grew angrier. Anger made him louder. Louder made him sloppier. You cannot run forever, he roared. Mira blinked slowly. I'm not running. I'm learning. Rykar leapt, An enormous, reckless pounce. The shockwave cracked the arena floor. Mira whispered something as she moved under him. Just one word. Rotate. Her foot connected with his knee, not with overwhelming force, but perfect precision. Rykar's momentum did the rest. The Titan crashed, rolling uncontrollably. The audience gasped. The announcers whispered, because for the first time, they were afraid to shout. Rykar rose, dazed and livid. How are you doing this? Humans are weak. Mira stepped closer, still calm, still soft-spoken. On a death world, Rykar, everything is stronger than us. She circled him slowly as she spoke. He followed her angry steps with lumbering ones, unable to find balance. The gravity tries to crush us. The storms try to kill us. The air burns our lungs in deserts and freezes them in winters. Predators outrun us. Insect venom melts flesh. Oceans can swallow entire cities. She stopped. And yet, she whispered, we survive. Rykar swung again, but his movements were slower, pained, because Myra's taps had already disrupted his joints. You mistake brute force, she said, for superiority. Rykar bellowed louder than ever. Sound waves rippled visibly. Mira didn't flinch. Volume, she whispered, is not strength. The shift, when the galaxy realizes what a whisper can do. Rykar prepared his signature technique, Vrax's resonance roar, a sonic blast capable of knocking out most species instantly. His chest expanded. His spines glowed. The arena shook as his biological amplifiers activated. Even some spectators covered their ears, miles away behind energy barriers. Mira closed her eyes. Rykar unleashed the roar. A wall of sound slammed into her. Dust, debris, and fractured stone exploded around her. But when the resonance broke, Mira was still standing, unharmed, unmoved. Rykar froze. Impossible. Mira took one soft breath. Your roar, she whispered, is nothing compared to a thunderclap 2 meters away. Rykar stepped back. And your storms? She continued. On my world, wind can peel bark off trees and hurl metal through walls. Another step back. Your heat? Our deserts reach temperatures that melt synthetics. A third step. Rykar was retreating for the first time in his career. And your beasts. Mira added. Predators stalk us in forests. Others lurk in oceans large enough to drown empires. We don't have claws or scales or fangs. She leaned close enough that only he could hear. But we have this. Her finger tapped his solar plexus, gentle as a falling leaf. Rykar collapsed to one knee. His body spasmed. His breath vanished. That, she whispered, is human technique. The turning point, the whispered victory. Rykar tried one final attack, more desperate than powerful. Another punch, another roar, another heave of muscle. Mira simply stepped inside his guard. Her palm touched his chest. Your body is powerful, she whispered. She rotated her wrist. His rib cracked. Your instincts are sharp. A gentle pressure downward. His stance broke. But you do not listen. She guided him down, slowly, softly, almost kindly, as if helping a large animal lie down to sleep. Rykar hit the ground. The Colosseum went silent. Mira stepped back and bowed, not to gloat, but out of respect. The announcer drone nearly malfunctioned. Winner, Mira Hale of Earth. Billions watching across the galaxy stared in disbelief. The champion hadn't been beaten. He had been dismantled. By a whisper. Ending. When the galaxy learned to listen. Medics rushed to Rykar. He was alive, though shaken to his core. His pride was more wounded than his body. Mira offered him a hand. After a long, hesitant moment, he took it. You are, Rykar rasped, stronger than your size. No, Mira said gently. You just mistook the wrong things for strength. The Vrax warrior looked around the arena, the fissured floor, the stunned crowd, the silent drones. What is strength to humans? He finally asked. Mira thought for a moment. Adaptation, she answered. Observation. Patience. Then with a softer voice, almost lost in the wind, and knowing when to whisper. News waves exploded across the galaxy. Weak humans suddenly weren't weak at all. Coalition militaries demanded Earth-style training reforms. Entire species reconsidered what they believed about Deathworlders. As Mira walked out of the arena, a crowd of young aliens, some barely old enough to stand, ran up to her. Teach us, one asked shyly. Teach us to fight like you? Another pleaded. Mira knelt to their height. No, she said warmly. I'll teach you to think like a human. Is it hard? A child asked. Mira smiled slightly. It starts, she whispered, with listening. The crowd leaned in. For the first time in galactic history, the entire arena fell silent. To hear a human whisper